everybody, it's Catherine and welcome to Tuesday's Sewing on a Wednesday. That's confused you. That's confused everybody, hasn't it? I wanted to get the digitals out there for people that were interested in starting the Halloween journals. So I'm doing Tuesday Sewing on a Wednesday. So let's get to it. Let's get to see what pick we're going to add. I've been doing some seed stitching on this little bit earlier. We've had our boiler serviced, so while he was doing that, I've kept out of the way and stitched. So today's pick is it's seed beads, and it's Connie Stanley, and thank you for suggesting that, Connie. So today is seed beads, and as usual we will give you a few photographs while we go and collect our supplies. See you in a minute. Okay then, so I'm back and I've got my embroidery scissors out. Look at this gorgeous. I don't know if I've shown you this before. Isn't it gorgeous? Somebody does these at my sewing group, and this was in the brand tub, and how gorgeous is that? So that's those. When I'm doing beads, I put a few out, and these are just the throwaway paper pots that you get when you're in hospital. So they're good just to put a few in, because otherwise it's easy to have them all over. I've got usually I like to use silk thread, and that is some green silk thread, and I've got these. I've got some gold ones and a little mix of seed beads, and then these, because you can never have too many, although I think I have. I'll never use all these. I got these very inexpensively from Amazon, and aren't they gorgeous colours? Because green, I think, are colours we use a lot of. So I am just going to put a few of each colour in here. Of those before I get them all over. That'd be horrendous, wouldn't it? Can you imagine trying to get all them? It'd be awful if you drop those. And I will put a few of, I like tic tac boxes, these, but they're not. I got them on Amazon. They all go in a bigger. I think there's some seed beads in here. There's some slightly larger ones as well. I think these were a bit of a mix. So well, everyone but gold, that's better. I've got my really fine beading needle, because for seed beads really you need something as fine as this, and I'm wondering if I've got fine enough silk here to go through it. If not, no way, that's not going to go through there. So let's have a look. I need something more silky. Ooh, there's a thread coming out already. This is a nice, that's a nice one. I'll use that. I've got threads. It's the only trouble with this metallic, it gets in the way. And I think somebody has put, I don't know if it was you, Lynn, that said use metallic thread. That may come out again, but yeah, that's not fine enough. So let's have a look at this one. This should work. Got to use your best eyes. Trouble is with me, I get it through and then as I'm moving my hand away I catch it. Shouldn't really lick the end of the thread, should we? There we go. Okay, so we're just going to take a few deep breaths just to get us into the zone for sewing. So some nice deep breaths in and out. Deep breath in and out. And allow yourself time to do some craft work. Right, I'm going to put a few of those out, and I'm going to use coral stitch for these. Now, where am I wanting to put them? What about, I think they need to be along the bottom really. I've got the bigger ones there. I think we'll dot them about inside here. Okay, so we've done coral stitch quite a few times before, but if you are new, I will go through it. So what we do is we take a stitch up, wrap the thread round anti-clockwise, hold it on the left hand side and pull it through, and that's our first anchor stitch. Then we put our bead on. You don't need your bead to get right down to the bottom yet because it'll get in the way. So take a little stitch up, wrap your bead round, wrap your thread round horizontal, hold it off to the left and pull through, and then your bead is fixed in place. Okay, keep your thread down to the left hand side, to the right hand side of your last bead, left hand side of where you're going to sew now. So if you're going to do this little row, take a little bite-sized piece, put my bead on. You see how you need these very fine flexible needles, and I'm not going all the way through to the back because this is, you know, it's quite a fine needle. Bite-sized piece, put your thread anti-clockwise and just pull slowly, and there's your bead on there. So I'm just going to continue along with some of these and see how we go. I love this this mat. I'm glad that I got this felt mat for doing sewing. It's so much easier. I do have a small one, a little round one as well, for when you're doing certain stitches. And I think, I don't know, probably Lynn, you may have got one of these for doing drizzle stitch, which we might do on one project. Put my bead on. just alter where you put them. Just the main thing is to remember you put your stitch round horizontal. And if you're doing it with thicker stitching, you can't tell on this is far too fine. But if you're doing it with bigger stitch, the coral gives you a nice, I've got this a bit tangled. Have I done that? With my eyesight, this is very fine thread. There we go. Try and keep in shot. We've tried to focus in as low as we can, because I thought last week probably you couldn't see as well as I'd like you to, but we have to work with what we've got, don't we? Where's my bead gone? That's trouble when you're working with these small ones. They're very... so these can make, I mean, thinking about doing it when we're doing our edgings, these make nice, you can do nice edgings to your journal with some seed beads. But they're not a slow, you know, they're not a fast project, you know, they are rather slow. So you may well just want to put a few on a belly band, something like that. That would be make a nice addition. If you've got a felt belly band and sew some of these on, or you could put them on anything really. But I'm just trying to think, you know, for journal purposes. I think they just add a little bit of extra something to your project, and you know, I think it's worth. That's it, move your bead out of the way. That's the thing, you don't want your bead you're putting on too close to start with, because it's got to come in after the thread's wrapped round. So that's the other main thing to remember with this stitch. I'm sorry if you can't. We can't focus in anymore with the big camera. Let's put a few more in. We haven't got much of a mix there. Let's tip them out on there. I find beading very relaxing actually. I know it's fiddly and I'm not the most patient of crafters, but I think if I want a little bit of relaxation, I like doing some beading. This is a bit more fiddly than like these sized up ones. Seed beads are really minute. See, the trouble is with this, it's getting lodged underneath some of the machine embroidery. If I can get that, let me take that. That's it. Because the beads are small, you could put 2 on. Let's try 2. I'm trying to keep out the way of the machine embroidery because this very fine thread is getting tangled in it. Let's see how that works. There we are. So you've got 2 on there if you want 2. If you want it to grow quicker, you can put 2. And actually, I've got that many, haven't I, that we can afford to put 2 on at once. The thing with this as well, that if one snaps, you have got your stitch, you know, because you've got your stitch in between. It's not all going to fall off. Don't forget to take your thread round the last lot of beads, and there we are. And I'm quite liking that. I'm quite liking putting 2 colours together. Let's have a darker one. So I have got some videos where I've used, I think I like to use the coral stitch quite regularly actually. I think I did quite a bit of it in the aquatic journal. Okay, little bite-sized piece. wrap your thread round anti-clockwise. Make sure it comes, you're not going it round the beads that you've just finished. It needs to come to the right hand side of the beads you've just finished. And there we go. It's a shame you all don't live nearer. You could all have a few of these green beads. Have we got enough green beads to last a lifetime here? You could have all had a few to have a play with. We're getting really, really cold weather starting to come in here in Scarborough. Because we're coastal, we do get, I've got glue on my hands. We do start to get the cold North Sea winds coming, which can be very chilly. So obviously the temperatures might not be too low yet, but the wind chill certainly has an impact. Don't know why I've got my beads all up there. They ought to be nearer me, didn't they? Stretching over there. Okay, little stitches. I'm getting into an area where I haven't got much machine stitching now, so it should be easier to do. Some people don't like these really fine needles that you can use. I mean, you know, if you've got a very small bore needle that goes through the seed beads, that's fine. But this is very bendy, so it's very forgiving. And I like that about it. So I have been doing a little prep for my Halloween journal this morning, hence the glue, and I think I've got a bit of red staining on there. No matter how many times you wash, I mean, if I do a lot of staining, I wear plastic gloves because I can't stand seeing all stain all over my hands. But if you're just doing a little bit of edging, you can still get it down, you don't you? There we are. They're looking pretty. It's just a bit of, adds to me greenery down here in my garden. A bit of gold ones. As I say, I'm just taking little bite-sized pieces, and I'm not going through all the layers because there's quite a lot of thicknesses through this. So I hope you're all doing well. Please leave some comments down below. I think people must be really busy at the minute. I don't seem to be hearing much from you guys. It's a bit lonely. It's exciting being able to start our Halloween journals. Oops. There we are. You just have to persevere a little bit sometimes. Sorry, I'm hoping I've still got you in a good position there. It's great, this felt mat, but it's slippy. Never stays in the spot. Nelson's doing well, for those of you been asking. He had his surgery on his root canals, bless him, on Friday. They were a lot worse than they thought. They couldn't do anything with them, so he had to have 5 teeth out, bless him. And we're going this afternoon. He's got a check-up this afternoon to see how he's doing. He was still coming round for the anaesthetic. He was dead groggy Friday, and he was growling at every dog he saw, which isn't his nature. Oh, excuse excuse me, I'm dry. It took him really a couple of days for it to be fully out. I think he was feeling a bit vulnerable, that's why I was doing some growling, but in the vets he were growling at every dog he saw, which usually he's all bouncy and daft and hello, I'm here, you know. And then he's on painkillers, and poor lad, he's got stitches in his mouth. So it's been a trauma for him really, but he's doing okay. It's us that's not doing okay with shock at cost. I think I've spoke about this before. Oh lordy. And they won't even let you wait for see what you get from the insurance. You have to pay it up front and then hope you get some insurance, which is ridiculous. No, I don't know, but you won't have it any other way, you know. He's our baby. Our kids have all left home, and he's our little boy. We haven't got any children together, so he's it. I've been enjoying watching Nikki Adegun recently. She's been doing, she did a flip through the other day of this two gentlemen's journals that she's been making, and I thought, what a lovely change. It's not very often, and I'm certainly, you know, a culprit of that. I wouldn't say that my journals are overly feminine, but you know, they're not specifically male orientated journals, so that got me thinking that I think I ought to see about doing one in the future. I've got a lady beekeepers project started that I've had started a while, and as you know, I'm trying to get on with half finished projects, but I perhaps ought to think of something male orientated. And there were I think she said she used kits from Tina at Shabbydabbydoodah, which we all know make fabulous journal kits, and my porch prints, and it was cute. It got little fussy cut moustaches in, and shaving bits and bobs and beards, and I thought, yeah, I need to think about doing, you know, one specific for a gentleman. I'm just getting to the end of this thread. It's getting a bit, it's getting a little bit untangled, and that's because it's been going through quite a few times. So I'm going to take this through and get a fresh piece. So yeah, they were really nice to watch. They sort of, she always has fabulous ideas, Nikki Adegun. She does some I loved the one that she did quite a while ago. It was a heart journal that she used several kits, I think, because I think she's on Tracie Fox's design team, and she'd done a hearts journal, and that was one of my favourites. It was gorgeous. But the problem is you don't get time to watch all your favourites, because I was going to still do this yesterday, as well as the launch. Okay. Okay then. Right. They're looking nice on there. I think we'll have a few at this side actually. So I'll start up here. So a little stitch, anti-clockwise round, hold on to it and pull through, and that's your little stalk. And yes, I was saying that, yeah, I mean, oh, it seems to take twice as long now to upload videos. You know, by the time you've converted it, the uploading process seems to take forever. So like, for example, you know, yesterday's, it was a full day job, because about an hour and 40 minutes some days you're having to take. Depends how many people are uploading to YouTubers and how slow it is, and how big. Obviously, if you're doing about 3/4, today's will take a good hour and 20-30 minutes. That's why we film early on, and sometimes the tea time before they're up, which is really out of our hands. Although it's snapped, it has. Oh, David, can I have a glass of water, please? Okay, sorry about that. It all snapped, and I don't think you'd want to watch me rethreading it again, and then I had a coughing fit. I could feel it coming on. There we go. So, yeah, I watch Roxy's every night, and I watch Tina's. I always watch Tina's every day, and Tracie Fox when she has. And then, you know, you have to fit everybody else in when you can, don't you? It's timing. And usually, you see, time when I'm sat doing other things is usually the time that David's working on the videos, or he's working on we have our big computer desktop in here. So he's usually busy on that. So, I mean, I suppose I could watch people but on my tablet, but depending what David's having to do as to whether that's disturbing. So we catch up when we can, really. And I'm sure, you know, such as I think, you know, the bigger the channel, that you know, these larger channels like Tracie and Tina and Rachel, and think of Gail Agostinelli with all you know, all the things she must have to do. She films every day, and she's got a lot of subscribers. It is a full-time job for them. I think we're running out of I need a few more green beans. Green beans? Green beans? Oh my word. Green beans. Oh, I'm losing the plot now. Losing the plot. Oh. These are coming on nice. I think we'll have a few more. I ought to look out for another set of some other colours really as well, because I think they were a good purchase on Amazon, and the decent quality beads, really nice. They've got a nice shine to them. Right. little pink one there. It's difficult to do it and keep it at arm's length and try and keep it in camera shot, because normally you want to bring it nearer to you, don't you? It's quite hard doing it at arm's length. I've been looking at some little, some sort of tabletop frame. It's trying to find one that would be in a good position for then getting the camera on it. So we're having a look at that. It might be a bit easier because it's sewing at arm's length isn't the easiest, is it? I'm enjoying this, doing the two together, because I'm building up quicker. So I think that's down that side. You know, if you're sort of wanting it as a fill-in, using your beads as a fill-in, and also you've got a bit of movement in them because you've got more than one on. So I'm quite liking that. I mean, to be able to, you know, I don't profess I'm an expert at beading by any means. I mean, people that can do this, you know, it's exquisite, that is. So lovely and flexible as well. It's just got, I just love it. It's got gorgeous feel to it. So let me know how you're doing, what projects you're working on. That's it, it's getting a bit tangled. Nothing much else happening here. Oh, I'm going to the, oh yes, first library club, book club meeting tomorrow. First time I've been for nearly 2 years. And I'm a bit scared, I have to say. I'm a bit scared because you can't really keep your mask on inside there and talk about your book, can you? So I suppose. But it's a smaller library. It's one I've not been to before at Bridlington, somewhere in Bridlington area. Because one of my friends, one of my sewing and book buddies that we go to, she's moved recently to Bridlington. So we're going to try this new one out. But it is a bit scary because, as I said, we don't go anywhere without double masks inside. And, you know, because it was coming down beautifully, the you-know-what's here. But because we're part of the Zoe study, we're in the study where we put ours, you know, fill it in every day. And every so often they'll send us different test kits to try and stuff, all part of the research. We've gone up nearly 600 cases in a week, which is a lot. We're only a small town, you know. So I think you've just we feel quite all right going into places and that with double masks, because we do have the FFP3, which you can get from DIY stores. It's the ones that people should use for cutting down MDF, etc., so that you're not getting so many of the things that are carcinogenic getting through the mask. So they are a good one to have, and they're not overly expensive. Here in the UK you get them from B&Q, So yeah, they have a little filter in, but because they're like you know, for tradesmen, we usually just wear our ornery, then a little one over the top, a little black one over the top. So we don't look like, I don't look like Darth Vader walking around. They're not them great big massive things that you see people have, you know, the military have, nowhere near, or what they have to have on the front line in hospital. But they do give you a better protection, so bear that in mind. They are FF. You see, you get FF 1, 2 and 3. That's the different levels of protection that you get. So anybody that's been shielding or have a particular, going through cancer treatment or whatever, they are an added safety thing, precaution to have, and they're quite inexpensive. They're not quite as cheap as buying them, you know, the really thin and flimsy ones, but they are properly tested against all sorts of carcinogens, etc. So it's a good level of protection to have. Right, so I'll just do a few more and then I think it's about a video. Time flies, doesn't it? Time flies when you're having fun. And my hands are getting all fiddly. I'm all fingers and thumbs now. I can't work with fiddly things for, you know, great length of time. I have to have a little rest from it, and then I'll go on to my just my seed stitch. Just to vary it out, so you're not doing all the same muscle movements, are you? See, I can tell I've worked in occupational health, advising people, advising in factories and workplaces on cutting down, reducing the risk of repetitive strain injuries, can't you? So you don't just get a sewing lesson when you come here. A bit of ergonomics as well while you're at it. Okay then guys, I'm going to call it a day now then, because I've been going about 40 minutes I think, and that's about our camera time. So thank you so much for joining me, and yeah, don't forget to comment down below and let me know what you are doing, and I'll see you next video. Bye for now.